inside something so from me. I don't feel your deathly waves. Each day I feel so hollow inside, always beating me. You'll never see, so come dance with me. Dance with me, dance with me, dance with me, dance with me, dance with
Great day. What a great Tuesday. How's everybody doing, though? Yeah, I'm just curious. Good morning, and that. This is Uncle Lou here. That's right, it's me, Uncle Lou. I'm live for you on LouTube today. Hey, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Welcome to the morning show. Look at this now. Welcome to the morning show. I do this show 4 mornings a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 8 a.m. Hello?
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 Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Hey, listen, before I forget, I'm sending you a text right now of Lizard's number. Apparently I was supposed to have scheduled him today, but he was in the ER last night and he wasn't sure if he was going to be home this morning or not. So if there's a Lizard sighting in the comments and you still would like to be on as our guest host later today, Lizard, let us know, and I will text Lou your number. I've got it all queued up and ready to text Lou in the event that he is up and about this morning. Apparently, he about broke his neck tripping over a wire or something last night, and had to go get all patched up at the ER. So,
Yeah.
that's what's up with that.
Okay.
So I know I won't be explaining Lizard's trip to the emergency room this morning. That's out of the way.
Right. That's already been explained. Thank God.
Exactly.
Yeah. Don't forget about the call-in show, which just happens to be tonight at 10 p.m.
Yes, it does.
And Thursday. It's every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. Uncle Lou After Dark, the college football call-in show. Monday nights at 10 p.m., lunch money with me and me. Don't forget about that, too. And hopefully, at some point in the future, Pete.
Yes. I hope everything's okay with Pete.
Me too.
Good people.
What else? Got BVD Explains coming up today. Hold on. What was this up here earlier that you wanted to explain? I'll let you explain that. Hopefully this is what you said. You said, hopefully it's BVD Explains Chess Hall's love for fat, woe men.
Woe men. Yes.
Okay,
indeed.
go ahead and explain that.
Okay, so right out of the gate, we know and understand that Chess Hall is a tad bit overweight, right? I don't think anybody would deny that. And so far, we know that the only women Chess has introduced us to on this here internet are slightly inflated and overweight women themselves. So I think I have determined that there is some sort of infatuation here with fat on fat love. And I am bound and determined to get to the bottom of this some Monday coming up in the near future. Not on here because I won't be on here, but I'm going to have Chess explain this in further detail for you guys. But I thought I would get that out there for you this morning, just in case anybody was wondering why Chess is infatuated with woe men. So there you go. Hope that cleared any of that misunderstanding up.
Well, he definitely only dates fat women. I mean, he said that.
Yeah, he said that.
So
He said that, but I think he should. I think he should, as you like to say, regale the people with a little more in-depth reason as to why. I asked him the other night if he would date Jennifer Aniston. Because he said I only date fat women.
yeah.
And of course he said yes, which was surprising to me.
She's not fat, is she?
No, not to my knowledge. I mean, as far as I know, she looks like she did 25, 30 years ago. She's one of those woe men that just doesn't age. Her and what's her name from the 80s? The model, Cindy something.
Well, it sounds like Chess is back to his old lying ways because one of these two things is a lie.
Uh-oh.
Chess only dates fat women. Chess would date Jennifer Aniston. One of those things is a lie, and he said both those things.
He has.
According to you.
Well, yeah, we've all heard him say that he only dates fat women.
I can confirm that.
I'm not in the habit of lying, And unless I was drunk that night, which we all know I wasn't, or unless I was high that night, which we all know I wasn't, I'm 99.9% sure he said yes, he would date Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
Well, I would. I mean,
oh, by the way, in order to try to make you feel better today, I'm wearing my Gatlinburg sweatshirt.
oh, okay.
Is it working?
Yeah, it is actually.
Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Perfect.
We can get to that later if you want.
How good
Whenever
does
you-
that look with those lights behind those helmets up there, though?
Oh shit! I just noticed that. That looks great.
Yeah, I finally hung the other two shelves up, so I finished the shelves up now. And
Is
I put
that a string? Just one of those long strings of LED lights?
yeah,
Okay,
light strips.
gotcha.
Right. That looks good.
Did you by chance try laying the strip down on the shelf in front of the helmets? You tried that, or did you just go straight with the behind the helmets?
Just
thing
went
there?
behind.
Gotcha. Well, it looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
One more question.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, I'm still blind for at least another 6 days.
Okay.
Is that blue or clear?
What?
The light.
Is there a light color called clear?
Well, of course there is. Absolutely. Next time you're at the Lowe's or wherever and you're looking at your light strip box, look and see if there's not one called clear.
There's not a clear option on here. Sorry. There is a blue. Is that what you want?
Ah, yes, the universal.
There's no clear option on here.
Okay. Well,
There's a
maybe
red.
I can't read as good as I thought I could.
There's a red option on here.
There you go.
I'm
Where
gonna
now, see, that looks better.
hold on. Let me look again. Yeah, still no clear.
How about white?
There is a white. Let's see what that looks like. How's that look? Looks clear.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ah, damn it.
How'd that do for you?
Okay. Well, it looks blue to me, but
Ballard,
I'm
stick a
blind,
wallet
so-
in your mouth before you look at that.
Stick a wallet in your mouth.
It keeps you from biting your tongue off when you have a seizure.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yep, the old multicolored light strips.
Yeah, I think I'm
Very-
gonna go with clear like I had originally.
Very popular. Got a couple of them in the house myself.
Clear is the most popular color of LED light strip. That's why they're so hard to find.
Could be. Could be. Who knew that it was going to be Uncle Lou explained?
Actually, it was clear before I put the light strip up there. That's why you couldn't see it.
See? See? Trying to be a smartass and make fun of me, and then you just explained it yourself. Lou's light's better than Bama's. I think Bama's upgraded their light show a little bit.
No,
No.
no.
Tennessee's upgraded theirs.
Who?
Tennessee. In fact, we're a lot lighter in the coaching department today than we were yesterday.
Oh. Okay.
About 9 coaches lighter, I think.
Yeah.
Or coaches and staffers or whatever. Well, I can't wait to find out what I get to explain. I'm all excited.
Hey, have you seen the show or ever heard of the show called Yellowstone?
Oh, yes. One of my favorite shows.
Now, how do you watch it?
With my seeing eye dog, Archie. He tells me what's happening.
I mean, it's not on Netflix, is what I mean. I can't find it.
Well, I have the Paramount Network.
On
So-
TV?
Yep.
Oh.
On the cable box.
So you can't binge watch it. You have to watch it week to week.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, well, I don't have time for that. That's stupid.
Well, you could always DVR it.
No, that's stupid too.
That's hard to
No,
do,
that's
but
what year is it? Unless it's available for me to sit down and watch every episode all at once, I'm not interested.
ain't got no interest in it.
I don't. That's dumb. These people are pissing me off. No,
Somebody's
it's
gotta
not on
piss you
Amazon
off.
Prime. I have Amazon Prime, Netflix. It's not on either of those.
I'm pretty sure whoever suggested the Amazon Prime thing, I'm pretty sure that Paramount has got it right now, at least, to where you can only watch it either on as it comes on, or if you have cable and you have the Paramount channel, I think you might be able to watch it on demand, but I'm not even sure about that.
I guess I have the Paramount channel. I just never had a reason to look before. Let me see. Dish Network Paramount channel.
Well, there you go. If you have the Paramount channel, you might be able to binge watch it.
Channel 241, it says. Let me see. Let me turn the TV on here and see if I have it.
I don't even know if Dago's joking or not. Is there such a TV app called Peacock or channel or whatever?
I've heard of that. That's a streaming service piece. An NBC-owned streaming service, Peacock is.
Well, there you go. NBC owns Paramount. That might be your
How
ticket.
do you get Peacock? See, you know what? Never mind. I'm not watching it.
Then made your mind up.
If people want me to watch their show, then don't make it a Chinese riddle to try to figure out how. I mean, this is retarded now at this point.
Well, in the event that you get unirritated, he says it's not joking and Peacock is free, according to Kevin.
I'm getting ready to do a comment on the comments video sometime in the next couple of weeks, and I was playing some of an old one on the show last night from a couple of years ago, and there was a comment that someone left that said, it offends me when you use the word retard. And on my reply was, I'm pretty sure I know why.
Wonder if that offended him.
I'm sure it did.
Uncle Lou, in case there's any of the 146 of you in here right now that are here for your first taste ever of Uncle Lou, he don't concern himself with political correctness, at least when it comes to using the word retard. I don't know. Maybe could I get you to explain something this morning too?
Maybe, I don't know.
If you read something, don't you have to have done that something first before you can redo it?
If you read,
how do you retard?
Well, re is a prefix you attach to other words. In the case of the word retard, re is not a prefix; it's just part of the word.
Okay, so if you were retarded, and then all of a sudden you got unretarded,
that's impossible.
You got retarded again, then you would be retarded.
No.
Technically, no. You'd still just be retarded.
Yeah, because you never became unretarded.
I'm trying to think of an example of people we know on YouTube that got unretarded.
There aren't any. They usually just get more retarded as they go along.
Yes, that would be super retarded, maybe. Don't know if that's in the dictionary or not, but
it is.
Your buddy ate camel toes.
Yeah.
Do you still occasionally hop over there at night and lurk and see what he's up to?
No, but somebody sent me an email a couple of days ago. That something about him and saying the N-word.
Oh, okay.
And then I think Chess talked about it yesterday on a traffic report.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go with that.
I mentioned your comment yesterday morning. By mention it, I mean I read it word for word.
Which comment would that be?
The comment you left on his video where he said the N-word that you're talking about right now.
Oh, okay. Where I corrected him on the Webster's thing.
Right. And then he called you a mouth-breathing idiot or whatever.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
At all. Normally, if I'm in when Camel is alone, how can I explain it? He still calls me all these names and says that I'm blocked on his channel and blah, blah, blah. But yet somehow I've been in a couple of JP streams where he was in there just to see how he would react.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, every time he says, me and BVD are cool. So when I'm in a stream on someone else's channel with him, apparently we're cool. And he's got no issues with me. But when he's by himself, I'm an idiot, mouth breathing, whatever, and blocked.
I joined his StreamYard yesterday afternoon and just laughed for 30 seconds and then clicked off.
Joined his?
Yeah, he actually let me in. I used my real picture and my real name, and he let me in. I laughed for 30 seconds and then clicked off, and then he went on a 30-minute rant about Raider Cousin. He thought it was. I don't even know who that is. And he thought whoever Raider Cousin is, he thought Raider Cousin created an account called UncleLou with my picture and got onto his StreamYard just to laugh.
Right.
But no, it was actually me.
You may or may not remember several months ago, Billy Cole. Well, in fact, it was when the whole thing was happening with you, me, and Camel Toes, and we thought my channel had gotten flagged, and Billy Cole made a fairly understandable comment saying probably Camel Toes. And he saw the comment. I guess he was lurking because he doesn't watch our content.
No.
And saw that comment and went on one of his 30-minute tirades about the 13-year-old troll that he knows Billy Cole is.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of funny.
Who else? Oh, I think I mentioned this yesterday too, so I'll just give the brief version. But I got on the Sleeta stream this weekend too. You know how hard that is to do?
Yeah, I guess.
That's
I know
hard.
how hard it is to get on there and stay.
Well, he makes you turn your camera on.
Oh, that's right.
Before he'll let you on. So,
yeah.
But you know how excited he gets when there's a girl in his comment section. He can't stand it.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how excited he would get if he thought a girl was trying to join his StreamYard.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so there was some girl in his comment section, and he was just, you know how he is.
Mm-hmm.
So I made an account with her name. Joined the StreamYard. Now keep in mind, the whole time he's not letting people in because they won't turn their camera on, and I'm not falling for that. You know, literally as soon as I got into the backstage, he was like, "Oh, fizzle! Guess who's coming in? Guess who's coming in?" And he put me right in.
And you
got
were
so
on there
excited.
for how long?
Well, as soon as he put me in, I forget the person's name. But he says, "Hey, what's up?" Whatever the name was, and I just said, "Yeah, are you going to the Slob Olympics though?" Jesus Christ, Lou, and he clicked me out.
You got Jesus Christed.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the morning show with Cousin Raider and Bob.
Right.
I think Cousin Raider is one of the NFL TTC guys that.
Well, it's Raider Cousin though.
Oh, Raider Cousin. Excuse me. Yes,
Yeah.
Raider Cousin and Bob. Apparently, he's been the subject of some ire over there.
Oh, okay.
I guess. I mean, I've heard that name, but I've never actually seen him. I don't think in one of the streams. I'm usually not over there long enough to. But I couldn't get it. Very rarely do I watch anything Camel Toes does and say, "Man, I can't believe that." But I was actually saying out loud, "Man, I can't believe that," when he was talking to Lady Steele, who is an African American lady, and telling her that he knows more about Black History Month than her, and explaining to her that the N word was a word 300 years before slavery, and blah blah blah. And, I don't know. More amazing content over there for the legend.
Well, he's
Now
an
him and
idiot,
JP
so.
are into it too. They're into it, calling each other every name in the book. So we'll see how long it takes this time before that's my home dog, that's my brother, don't you dare say anything bad about him or you have to deal with both of us type deal. It's the off season, so who knows how long that'll be.
No one knows. Speaking of the Slob Olympics, though, apparently Centennial Park is closed, people are telling me.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, if that's true, that's ridiculous. And I take all this seriously, but Centennial Park is huge. And
That's
it's
what
outdoors.
Mm-hmm. And it's public.
So I don't
Clearly.
Now there's something like there's a Ferris wheel in there, and so okay, I can see maybe that being closed down or something or whatever. But I don't understand. I mean, all Centennial Park is anymore is a huge area of grass. Like it's not. I don't know what if people have never been there. It's just a huge area of grass in the middle of downtown Atlanta, and by huge I mean really huge.
Right.
So I don't understand what the point is. I don't know why.
I wonder if they got signs up that say "Stay off the grass."
Well, there's a gate that goes all the way around it, and
Right.
I guess you could close. And there's openings where you can walk in and out of the park. So I guess those gates could be closed and locked.
Well,
I don't know, but that doesn't make any sense. That's
Rob
insane.
Dog sent me I don't know what you call it, a flyer or whatever about it, and I forwarded it to you.
Yeah, I saw it. I mean, that's insane.
So I'm assuming that's actual legit PSA.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're not canceling
in,
it. I mean, we're going either way. If for some reason there's a it's not an alley, it's a road, but there's a road that goes in between the hotel that we're staying at and the park. And it's not the main road. The main road is in between the hotel and the Hall of Fame, and it's a huge like 4-lane road or whatever, but there's like a little side road that is between the hotel. If we have to, we'll do it right there. So I mean, we can run right whatever we're doing, we can do it right there. But so we're going anyway, but that's dumb if the park is closed.
if we have to, we'll do it right there in the damn hallway of the Embassy Suites.
Yeah, I mean, we'll do it in the lobby.
It's going down somewhere.
Yeah. I'll rent out one of their meeting rooms. We'll do it in there.
That's actually not a bad idea.
So,
how would you explain that? I guess you just I'm sure they'd need some kind of reason why you're renting it out. I'm sure they don't just say, okay, you can rent it out and do whatever you want in there. I'm sure they ask you what the event is.
I'm just going to
you
tell them
ought to
Slob
do
Olympics.
that. Yeah, that'd be a good phone call for Lou to do on the morning show. Call the Embassy Suites and tell them you want to rent out a banquet room for the Slob Olympics. Just a thought.
Yeah.
You tell them you're the head slob.
Who's the cameraman at the Slob Olympics? Well, there's a bunch of YouTubers there, so I'm sure there'll be plenty of cameras around.
See, I'd say there'll be a whole bunch of cameramen.
Well, or maybe one camera and a bunch of cell phones.
Yeah. Well, you'll be bringing a camera.
Yeah, right.
I'll be bringing a camera, so there'll be at least 2 cameras.
2 cameras and a bunch of cell phones.
Yeah. Are you coming, Wilkie? That'd be great to get Wilkie to come. I tell you what.
Captain Trips, yeah, I noticed that too, and had just about the same thought as you. So
The Hunter Kewen comment.
Would a Slob Olympics be on any ESPN channels? No.
Deportes.
No.
ESPN Deportes. The report I'm getting.
It'll be on a bunch of YouTube channels.
It won't even be on the Ocho where they had the dodgeball tournament.
No, this is bigger than ESPN.
Oh, you know what we need? We need some play-by-play guys there.
Like Slita, he's great at play-by-play.
Oh, you ever heard him do a soccer game?
Yeah, I've heard him. Yeah, that, baseball, whatever, football, whatever.
It's
just terrible.
Top of the key. You know a lot about soccer, Lou. Is there a key in soccer?
Well, there's a circle out front of the. I see what he's getting at.
Yeah,
that's
I knew
what it's
he was
called in
getting at
basketball,
too,
but I don't think it's called that in soccer. No, but it's a similar look.
Well, the key in basketball used to actually look like a key. One of the old-timey, keys that you still see in some older houses. I knew what he was talking about, but still. Yeah. Would you rather listen to 5 straight hours of Slita doing play-by-play of any sport, or 5 straight hours of Slita doing karaoke?
Oh, God. I guess probably play-by-play. I mean, if I had to choose between those two.
Yeah. I think he may be not talking to me right now. I'm not sure. First, I thought he had me blocked. But you know how maybe you don't know how you don't do StreamYard. I think it might be a YouTube thing. You can put polls up during your live streams. And he's doing this thing now all the time where he puts a poll up every time he streams. And I don't even remember. It was one of the streams last week where he's got his camera phone on, whatever. He's doing his stream on whatever. And then he's playing music on his other whatever, which sounds like a 1960s transistor radio. I was trying to tell him, David, you can play your music through StreamYard and it won't sound like shit. And he had to go ahead and not answer me.
Yeah.
And I know he was reading the comments because he read every comment around it 2 times. So David, I know you're listening, or I know you will be listening. Are you ignoring me? Am I blocked? Just curious.
Let's be honest. It's a minor miracle he's able to figure out how to hit the go live button. Much less figure out how to play something through StreamYard.
You ever heard him try to do comedy?
I think everything he does is funny, but no.
Well, yeah, but that's the unintentional funny stuff,
Yeah.
Like he was actually trying to be funny this night. It was him, A Fizzle, and maybe Asia. And he had indoor lacrosse pulled up. And he must have, I joined in late. He must have said something at some point that was funny to them. And he caught that, so he ran with it. And I watched him for like 5 minutes, pretty much saying the same things over and over about it. And she was just yucking it up. And eventually Fizzle got to the point where he didn't say it, but you could tell he was like, all right, this shit ain't funny anymore. And he just kept on and on and on. It was brutal, to say the least.
Tyler Pollock, thank you for hitting the super chat this morning, sir. Helping to support the show. I appreciate that. He says, hey, Lou and BVD, could you guys explain the Slob Olympics a little and what you guys plan to do when you go? Yeah, BVD would be happy to explain that. It's even the title of this show.
Right.
BVD, go ahead.
You want to say, okay, well, the Slob Olympics is a soon-to-be world-famous annual event held in downtown Atlanta at Centennial Park, if we're allowed, what will feature several YouTube, I'll go ahead and apologize ahead of time, several of us retards out there competing in a various and sundry list of events. There'll be the shoe throw, the 40-yard dash. We've got a couple other things lined up, like maybe the egg roll, whatever, where you roll an egg across the yard with your nose, or something to that effect. You know what I'm talking about. Maybe a sack race, because I mean, who wouldn't want to see Chess Hall and BVD in a sack race together? And then we'll have some brain events, like where I school everyone maybe in a spelling bee, because we all know I'm amazing at spelling. Maybe the Wonderlic test, something to that effect. And anyone who is a YouTuber and makes videos is welcome to come and participate. Anyone who is not a video maker is also welcome to come. So basically, anyone's welcome to come, and only a select group of amazing, flawless video makers will be allowed to compete. And that'll be March 5th through the 7th this year at Centennial Park, downtown, or the alley next door to the Embassy Suites, or in the Embassy Suites ballroom.
Right.
That good enough?
Yeah.
All right. This next super chat will amaze you and blow your mind.
Now, BVD gave you the exact. It's basically just an excuse for us all to get together and hang out for a weekend, and we figure we might as well do something while we're doing that.
Right.
And that's kind of how the idea. I'm not sure if I remember where the term Slob Olympics came from. Forget the whole idea of having a Slob Olympics. I'm not sure. Or did the term Slob Olympics get invented when we invented this idea for this competition? I don't really remember.
I have no
where
idea
that came
how
from.
it started. I mean, maybe we were talking about. I'm not even going to try and guess because I can't remember. I bet you.
Oh, it was Slob Fitness. That's right. It was Slob
Okay.
Fitness. Thank you, Ballard. Yeah, I was trying to get D-Town back on YouTube. And he was on Facebook about how much weight he's lost and this and that. And every time he would make a post about that on Facebook, in the comment section, I would just type hashtag Slob Fitness. He used to call himself a slob all the time.
Mm-hmm.
When he was on YouTube, and then he quit doing YouTube, but I was still friends with him on Facebook. So a lot of y'all don't know who D-Town is. He hasn't been around in a long time. But anyway, he's a big guy. But I don't mean just fat. I mean, how tall you think? He's pretty tall, isn't he? Don't you think?
In fact, I think we were having this same discussion that day. I always thought he was short, but he may not be. It's hard to tell. I've had people. Somebody thought I was 6'2", and what the hell they were thinking. But,
so every time he would make one of these posts on his Facebook page, I would put in the comment section hashtag Slob Fitness, because he used to call himself a slob, and now here he is talking about getting in shape and losing all this weight. And I was like, you should start making videos again. But instead of football videos or whatever like you were doing before, make a series of fitness videos and call it Slob Fitness. I said it could be the next big thing. You know how there's all these fad diets and workouts that come and go. You know,
6-minute abs.
Yeah, P90X. And then all this stuff. This is the only way to lose weight, and then next week it's something else. Now this is the only way. Like that. I was like, you could be the next. It could be Slob Fitness. And somehow that morphed into Slob Olympics. So yeah. And we're going to try to do this every year in the off season, somewhere different every year, so that maybe, because there's probably some people, depending where you live, maybe you can't go to Atlanta, but maybe next year we do it in Tennessee or South Carolina or North Carolina or Alabama or whatever. And try maybe move it around from year to year. And see, but yeah, that's the general idea. Just get together, hang out for the weekend, and while we're there, might as well do the Slob Olympics. Waikiki, thank you for the super chat. He says, I went to BVD for tech advice, and he fixed it.
Now, once everybody picks themselves back up off the floor, now tell the truth, Wilkie. Or I can tell the truth, whichever way you'd like. I think what happened, he did indeed call upon me for some tech advice, which stunned me, for starters. Ended up being a microphone thing. He couldn't figure out why his microphone was working everywhere he used it except for live streaming or on YouTube. We think, and I told him, I said, it's got to be some kind of setting on the microphone because all your settings, we did a StreamYard last night, just the two of us, and he share screened, and I watched him go through all the steps on StreamYard. So the microphone should have been working. So then I said, it's got to be a setting on your microphone that's messed up or something. So then we went into him explaining to me what kind of microphone he had, what kind of boom stand he had, and all that. I said, well, let me see the boom stand. And he grabs a hold of the microphone, like you guys with boom stands do, pulled it forward where I can see it. All of a sudden, his mic starts working. So if that's me helping him fix it, then I guess, yeah, I did. But I don't know. I didn't do anything to fix it. What kind of microphone do you have, Lou? It's not a Rode, is it? Or is it?
No, I have an Audio Technica AT 2020.
Oh, yes, the old Audio Technica, whatever you said, 2020.
AT 2020.
AT 2020, yes. That's right. What are those? What are the letters again on those microphones that aren't USB?
XLR.
XLR. Well, his is a USB, so I should have known right then that
Yeah.
it wasn't the same microphone. But it's
Most people have
microphone.
USB because that's what you can plug into a computer. You can't plug an XLR into a computer.
Right.
XLR mics are have been around forever.
Those are old school.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
What, Wilkie, did you ever figure it out though after we hung up last night? Did you ever figure out what button? See, my new microphone, I've got this Samson microphone's got a button that mutes the microphone, but you can just gloss across it and it'll mute you. I was having issues with that the first night I was using it. I thought, why the hell does this thing keep muting on me? I'm guessing. He says no clue. He still hasn't figured it out. I don't know.
Now, if anybody's looking to get UncleLou a gift anytime in the near future, what I want is a black Electro Voice RE20. If somebody wants to send me one of those, that's what I want.
Made in Mexico.
I should start a GoFundMe.
My stepmom worked at Electro Voice for probably 25 years or more, and they closed the Sevierville plant down and moved it to Mexico.
Well, she could have
hooked you up.
Got me one of them 5-finger discount deals.
Yeah, she's wouldn't be the type to do that, but she could have definitely gotten you one at a deal.
That's about right, Wilkie.
Yeah. Electro Voice makes good stuff. Make great speakers too. Electro Voice. I hadn't thought about my stepmom in months. Appreciate that, Lou.
Lou equals wealthy. Now, Lou has 2 kids. So that doesn't even make any sense what you just said.
Well, in the sense of the word that we all know wealthy to be, I would probably say no. Lou doesn't equal wealthy. But hell, we're all wealthy, aren't we? We all have wealth of some sort.
That's true.
It's like, not going to use the word, what makes people offended, at least one of which lets you know about it. But I used to work with those type of people. And when they get upset and throw fits in that world, it's called having a behavior. Someone brought it up one day, but isn't everything they do a behavior?
Yes.
And that's true. Everything we do is some type of behavior.
I believe in behavior modification.
Ooh.
That wallpaper was 10 cents a roll, sir.
Sea Dog Morgan is a wealthy soul.
You can't prove I'm wealthy by typing that I bought wallpaper at 10 or wrapping paper at 10 cents a roll.
Oh, you said wallpaper, so I was thinking, what the hell are you talking about? But it just didn't say it. Now
Well,
I
he
get
he
it.
typed wallpaper, but he meant
Yeah,
wrapping
okay.
paper.
Gotcha. Well, you can't really deny that it takes a wealthy man to buy a truckload of wallpaper. Just not necessarily a rich man. I could buy, let's see, at 10 cents a roll, I could buy probably a wheelbarrow full of wallpaper or wrapping paper. Damn it. Now I'm going to start calling it wallpaper. Actually, wrapping paper does make good wallpaper if you're not wealthy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Chase says, plus I have a shed. I must be rich.
Having a shed makes you rich. Chase, are you by any chance from Alabama? Lower Alabama, even? Yeah, Ballard, I heard that last night. Smokey hit the transfer portal.
If he had any sense, he'd transfer to the Pound, a 3-day stay.
If he had any sense, he would transfer to Georgia. That way they'd have a real dog down there instead of a literal mouth breathing, slobbering footstool with legs.
Yeah.
Take my shots when they're available, Lou.
Smokey looks like every PETA commercial I've ever seen. Where they're
He does
playing
look kind of.
where they're playing that Arms of an Angel in the background, and there's some ate-up dog rolling around in his own shit and piss or whatever. That looks like Smokey.
Now you just done went across the line. You done went there now, Lou. That one PETA person that's watching this show is going to be all over you. I still maintain that Smokey would kick Uga's ass in the dog Olympics.
Right. Who's the next Tennessee coach? I think me and you are in agreement, BVD.
And that would be?
Well, I think it's Kevin Steele.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't be a bad choice, I don't think.
I don't
Where was he a head coach previously? Do you know?
Baylor. He was like 2 and 40. I mean, it wasn't good.
Oh, well, yeah, hell, he'd be perfect for the job then.
But you know what the thing is? I know every time something happens with Tennessee, we're like, it can't get any worse than this. And then, so somebody comes along with the hold my beer routine, and lo and behold, it gets worse. I honestly don't think Tennessee can afford to get turned down.
Can afford to get turned down.
Right. Like last time. If they think Kevin Steele would take the job, I think they should give it to him.
Well, I know it's different now, but if I'm not mistaken, pretty sure he turned it down last time. I think he was one of the people.
So he turned down the head coaching job at Tennessee 3 years ago and then took the defensive coordinator job this year?
Right. It doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
Damn, things are worse there than I thought. I mean, does Tennessee really want to go through a 6-week period where 8 coaches are telling them no again like last time?
Well, I'm gonna refer back to what you just said. It can't get any worse, at least as far as coaching searches go. First thing they got to do is find an AD. If you want some really good, I don't know that it's insight, but if you want some, in my opinion, some good opinions on this whole thing, go watch Roadshow Locker Room's 50-minute stream with Billy, Fred White, and Jeff Coleman last night. That was really good. They brought up some really good points about this whole thing. But, and they did another one last night with the same 3, plus they had Leonard Little on there. And I think the problem for a lot of Tennessee fans, maybe even the powers that be down there, is they're stuck in the 90s. They haven't changed with the times, I don't think. And I would like to see someone with Tennessee ties get both jobs. I just don't know if that person's out there. I know you listen to Mark Rogers some. They had a guy call in yesterday that said, well, Tennessee needs to get away from this hiring coaches with Tennessee ties. And I was on next and I pointed out that we haven't hired anyone with Tennessee ties since Fulmer. Kiffin, no Tennessee ties, tried to turn us into Southern Cal. Dooley, no Tennessee ties, tried to turn us into Circus or whatever. Butch Jones, no Tennessee ties, tried to turn us into a used car lot. Jeremy Pruitt, no Tennessee ties, tried to turn us into a Division III program, and couldn't even beat Division II schools at one point. So I think we need somebody that either has Tennessee ties or someone that wants to make the Tennessee football program its own brand, instead of trying to be like Alabama or be like Southern Cal or be like whoever. That shit never works, does it?
Well, I think the most important thing you just said there was when you were talking about these people that are stuck in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
The Tennessee fans have got to change their expectations.
Yes, I agree.
And I said this last night. I'll say it again now. This is not me trash talking. Okay, there's plenty of time for that when I can yell into a camera. Tennessee is not a football powerhouse.
No,
they're not. They are not a 10-win team.
Mm-mm.
They're not a contender for anything. And they're not 1 year away from being any of those things.
Mm-mm.
They're Kentucky.
Hell, I wish we were Kentucky at this point.
The Tennessee fans have got to understand that 7-5 is a good season, because you play Georgia, Florida, and Alabama every year. There is nobody willing to bet me $1 right now that Tennessee will beat any of those 3 teams at any point in the next 3 years. That puts your ceiling at 9 wins, and you're not winning 9 games. You're losing more. You're going to add a couple more losses to that. You're at 7-5. And this thing where there was people year one of Pruitt. Well, this ain't working. You know.
Mm-hmm. There's
He was
going to
7-5.
be people.
That was a great
There's
year.
going to be people that are going to do that no matter who is the coach. You know, there's people in every fan base with ridiculous expectations. It just seems that our fan base seems to have cornered the market, save for maybe Miami and Texas. That's why every year we all do the Texas is back, Miami's back, Tennessee's back thing. And all of that's based on tradition, the fact that we once were college football powerhouses. Neither of those two things are deniable. We were a powerhouse at one point. We're not now. And it even took me a while to realize that, you know, the first 2 or 3 or 4 years post Philip Fulmer, you know, because I was on here doing we're going to kick your ass every week. And for the first couple of years, I actually believed that. And then, of course, it got to the point where, you know, I was like, okay, clearly we're not beating Alabama. Clearly we're not beating Florida. And it's starting to look like clearly we're not beating Georgia. But as trash talkers on YouTube, you have to come on here and, you know, and say we're going to kick.
Well, you have to separate that from just the average fan. And the thing is, take Alabama out of it for a second because they're on a different level. It could be that Tennessee beats either Georgia or Florida at some point in the next couple of years. Just like Kentucky beat Florida a couple of years ago. Georgia Tech beat Georgia in 2016.
The whole blind
that
squirrel
didn't
thing.
represent some sort of we're back moment for those programs. That just meant they got lucky and beat somebody they had no business beating. It wasn't some kind of, you know, magical moment. That could happen for Tennessee, but as of tomorrow at noon, Tennessee will not have won 10 games in a season since 4 presidents ago. Forget playoffs and BCS wins and forget all that. Forget top 5, top 10 stuff. Tennessee will not have won 10 games since 4 presidents ago. There's not a recruit on planet Earth that was alive the last time Tennessee won the conference.
Jesus.
I mean, recruits are 16 and 17 years old, yet Tennessee hasn't won the SEC in 22 seasons, 23 seasons. Tennessee hasn't played in a Sugar Bowl since 1997. The Sugar Bowl is the game that the second or third best SEC team goes to. In modern, it used to be the.
It was the game.
It used to be but since the BCS games and now the New Year's Six and all that, it's because the best team is making the playoffs or whatever the case. So, I mean, Tennessee hasn't even played in a Sugar Bowl since 1997.
Do you remember the last time Tennessee beat Florida, Georgia, and Alabama all in the same season? I don't. It's probably 98, I guess. Well, it would have had to have been 98.
There might have been a time in the 2000s. I know I'm sure you beat Alabama several times in the.
We've only beaten Florida once in the last 15 or 16 years.
Yeah.
So whatever year that was, 2017 maybe, somewhere in there. So we know it's been at the very least.
And
shit.
To these people on the Hugh Freeze train.
No.
That's not happening.
Yeah,
you can't fire a coach today for buying players and then hire a coach tomorrow who got fired from his last job for buying players. You can't. I mean, that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't write a letter saying we have to get rid of Jeremy Pruitt because he's endangering the program, the athletic department, and the eligibility of our athletes, and then turn around and hire Hugh Freeze. You can't do. I mean, how do you?
You can't explain that.
No, that's not going to happen.
No explaining that. That the only way you explain that is he just happened to be the last coach alive that didn't already have a job. And even then, you'd have a hard time explaining your way out of that one.
Jeff Fisher. I mean, what are these? None of this is happening. Jeff Fisher has never been on a recruiting visit. Why do you even want him? Not you, BVD. I just mean Tennessee, man.
Right.
Why Jeff Fisher? Why? Because he was the coach of the Tennessee Titans 6 years ago? Why? He played for Southern Cal. He played for the Chicago Bears. And then he's been an NFL coach for 20 years. And then he retired 6 years ago. The guy's never spent one day as a college coach of any type, grad assistant, a position coach, coordinator, nothing.
Jerry Wells asked me last night my top 5 for coaches I would like to see at Tennessee. And I couldn't come up with 5. And this is being realistic, because everybody's going to say, Saban. No, you can't. I said, this has got to be a realistic top 5, right? And he said, yeah, couldn't do it. So I just said, I came up with a couple, Mark Richt and hell, I can't even remember the other 2 that I came up with last night. That's how bad it is. But my number 1 guy was Kane Ballard. That's how bad it is for me right now. I just don't know.
I don't know if I come up with 5 either, because in order to come up with any type of list, it's likely got to be known names. So, so it would be people naming obvious names like Matt Campbell from Iowa State, Luke Fickell from Cincinnati. I don't think they're taking that job.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody like that wants that job. I'm dead serious. I don't think Will Muschamp would take that job. I don't. And here's the thing: I don't know what's coming down the road with whatever happened there. I don't know if there's going to be probation or whatever.
Guarantee it.
Tennessee is fan expectations versus reality is further apart at Tennessee than it is any other Power 5 program.
This should wait.
And so add probation and all that to that. I don't know what coach would want that job. I'm dead serious, which is why I think here's what I want to know. Why did they hire Kevin Steele 2 weeks ago? That's what I want to know. I don't know any other reason other than you hired him to be your head coach. Because why do you make a hire like that knowing that you're likely not going to have a head coach in 2 weeks? Yeah. So I think it's just going to be Kevin Steele.
Maybe they talked to him and said, "Hey, look, this is what's coming." Because a lot of fans are already crying. Why didn't you make T. Martin interim coach? He's been here longer. T. Martin's not going to be the next coach at Tennessee, folks. It ain't happening.
At least make Kevin Steele like some sort of interim deal or whatever for this year. T. Martin would do until they find out. I mean, if
they may have to do that.
Look how bad Tennessee is right now. If they get put on probation and lose scholarships, I mean, it's over.
We're going to be heavily dependent next year on the transfer portal.
Yeah.
To get some players, because we've got 18, I think Carter said last night, 18 kids that have hit the portal.
And Wanya Moore, you're not replacing, I think Wanya Morris is the highest rated recruit y'all have signed in, I don't know how long.
Well,
and he's gone.
I mean, since Trey.
Yeah. He landed at Oklahoma. It didn't take him long to find a spot.
He's been kind of underperformed, I think.
Well, he was a true freshman, though.
He was a true freshman last year. Right? He was a sophomore this past year.
I thought he was a freshman.
I think he was a sophomore. Could be. You could be right. That's actually not a bad idea. If he's willing to do it. Kevin Steele may not be willing to say, "Sure, I'll be your interim coach for a year," because that's basically telling him you ain't getting a job.
Yeah.
So I didn't think about it, but that's a really good point that there may have been some kind of dialogue between those two. Hey, look, we've seen the writing on the wall. Pruitt's getting ready to get fired. We're going to be needing a head coach. Would you be interested? But if that's the case, why did they make him interim? Why didn't they just go ahead and, hell, I don't know. But before any head coach is considered, got to hire an AD first.
That could be why they made him an interim. Maybe they want the AD to make that decision. But here's the other thing. Signing day is 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah, boy.
I mean, how do you sign with Tennessee? There's articles and some talk yesterday of the NCAA letting players out of their letter of intent that signed with y'all back in December.
Mm-hmm.
Because, now they have no coach and all this kind of stuff. So this year's class could completely fall apart. If the NCAA lets the kids out of their letter of intent that they already signed in December, shit. And then who's going to sign there when you don't know who the coach is? So they better get something figured out. I'll say too, I did giggle a little to myself. One of the first things I thought of when I heard this news was Cade Mays, and I giggled to myself a little.
Mm-hmm.
The way he left Georgia and the things he said, and the thing with his dad, the nine-fingered wonder, trying to sue Georgia and all that, and Cade saying I have to leave Georgia because it's a toxic environment and blah blah blah. And, he goes to Knoxville, goes 3-7. Now you got no coach, probably going on probation. You're almost out of eligibility. You're not very good. You wear roller skates instead of cleats. I giggled a little when I thought about Cade Mays yesterday when I heard this news.
Well, I tried to be positive about Cade Mays when he came home, but I've not been a Cade Mays fan since high school. Fairly or unfairly, I don't know, but he just rubbed me the wrong way the night he was up here in Greenville showing his ass. And apparently, that may not have changed a whole lot if he left Georgia talking shit about toxic environment. Hell, he may have been part of the toxicity. Probably
Right.
no. And D4 put it perfectly. Fuck Cade Mays. D4 also not a Cade Mays fan.
Yeah, not even a Tennessee fan or a Georgia fan.
Right. Brian, without going into a lot of great detail, they came up here when he was at Knox Catholic in a playoff game. And Amari Rogers was on that team. That team was loaded. And we played them tooth and nail about halfway through the third quarter, and then they started kind of pulling away a little bit. And he just turned into a total douchebag. He was flipping the crowd off. It was awful. And a lot of us that saw it thought it was douchebaggery at its best. I even, after the game was over, said something to him about it. Of course, he didn't give a shit. Guys like that don't give a shit what people say to him. Talked to his offensive line coach at the time, Daniel Hood, and asked him about that. Why, what's up with his attitude? And he said, we're working on it. Apparently, didn't get a whole lot of work done there. It was just a bad night, Brian. He was a complete dickhead. And in high school, he's what, 6'6", whatever he is,
Yeah.
6'6", 6'7". He's a big ass boy compared to your normal high school offensive and defensive lineman. And he dominated just about everybody he went up against. Not at Greenville, everywhere. There's just not many regular high school players got anything for a 6'6", 300 and whatever the hell pounds he was, kid in high school. And maybe that's the norm for some of these high profile kids, but we saw plenty of 5-star, well, not plenty. We saw some Amari Rogers, he wasn't like that. You know, he was a very gracious winner that night, as was the rest of the team. He made that whole school look bad.
Yeah.
And there's not a Greenville person in town that would give you a plug nickel for a fucking Knox Catholic football team.
Yeah, plug nickel.
Plug nickel. Whatever the hell a plug nickel is.
Is that worth more or less than a buffalo nickel?
I don't know.
What about a wooden nickel?
No idea. Never seen either one of those two. Oh, I've seen a buffalo nickel. Well, I've seen a wooden nickel too. We've actually got an old redneck bar up the road here called the Wooden Nickel, if it's still there. Anybody know what a plug nickel is? And is there such a thing as a plug dime or quarter? I think I know what a case quarter is.
A wheat nickel. What about a hay penny? Oh, no, or is it a wheat penny?
Wheat penny. Definitely worth more than a hay penny.
Yeah.
Or one of them pennies that you can buy for 50 cents in a gumball machine that got smashed by a train. You ever seen those?
No.
Guess it didn't get smashed by a train. You can put a penny through a little machine and crank it through there and it'll flatten it out for you. Think we'll ever see a day when we don't have change anymore?
I think the penny should already be gone.
Yeah. To me, I think change should be gone altogether. But at the very least, the pizza place I work for, Gino's Pizza in Pigeon Forge, the only change they dealt with was quarters. Everything there ended in 25 cents or, increments of 25 cents.
Yeah.
And that made it all well and good till you get to a room and somebody pays you with 5 penny rolls or 6 penny rolls and dollar bills.
Now in Europe, there's no dollar bills.
Well, they're euros.
Well, there's no dollar euros either.
What do they use? What's their incrementation?
I think it starts. I guess I don't know. I don't remember if it starts at 2 or 5. I think they have dollar coin euros. You know.
I wonder.
And they're wooden. They're wooden.
Well, by God, they probably got a plug or a wooden nickel.
You could have a wooden dollar.
Wonder if that saying goes over there. Don't take any wooden dollars.
Okay, BVD, explain fired for cause.
Thought I was going to get out of this. Okay. Fired for cause. That's when you fuck up and cheat, or even if you don't cheat, the people underneath you cheat, and you have supposedly no knowledge of it. But when the NCAA comes around and starts snooping and investigating, and they come to you and say, so, Mr. Sir, did you have any idea this was going on? Regardless of your answer, when you get fired, it's cause you're a dumbass. So that's getting fired with cause. Plus, seriously, I honestly don't know the exact explanation of getting fired with cause, but basically when you get fired for cause, it basically gets the university out of paying any buyout, correct?
Right. That's the benefit to the university. And
right.
When a college coach is fired, they're either fired for cause or for no cause. And winning, like, to us, winning 3 games might be for cause, but contractually, that's not for cause. So there has to be something else. And it's usually in the contracts that these coaches sign. Like it was in Jeremy Pruitt's contract. Any level 1 or level 2 violations could result in termination for cause. And when you get terminated for cause, per the terms of your contract, the school does not have to pay the buyout. Now, some schools will pay it anyway, or a portion of it, or a percentage of it, because it makes other coaches uncomfortable to take a job at a school that just figured out a way not to pay their last coach their buyout. So don't be surprised if Tennessee, like McElwain at Florida, was fired for cause. Mm-hmm. They still paid him some money.
Well, Pruitt, didn't he just hire some lawyers?
Yeah, they issued a big, long statement yesterday, too.
Yeah.
So that thing's probably headed to court, because these are contract issues.
Think it'll make it to court, or will Tennessee pay him out of court?
I think Tennessee will. Tennessee is going to say, we're not paying you anything because you're fired with cause. Pruitt's going to say, no, I want my full buyout. My guess would be that Tennessee gives them some money.
Right.
That's basically what happened with Jim McElwain at Florida. They ended up giving him some money, and McElwain went on about his business. Because you don't want to really be... Coaches are hesitant to take a job with a school that they think might eventually look for a way not to pay them. Like, well, let me ask you this. If Tennessee went 7-3, would they be looking for a coach right now?
Probably not. Well, shit.
If it's true that Pruitt really didn't know, which I find some of this, who knows?
He
says he didn't know and didn't have anything to do with it. You know, if that's true and he went 7-3, 7-3 buys you a lot more benefit of the doubt than 3-7. You know,
3-7 buys you nothing.
Yeah. Now sometimes it's so bad and so egregious, like Hugh Freeze at Ole Miss. They were happy with Hugh Freeze there, but they had to get rid of him. I mean, you had players going on national TV thanking him for the money.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was just, they had no choice. There was no investigation needed. I mean,
if Pruitt, let's just pretend that he had no clue this was going on, which I'm not buying. Even if that is true, it doesn't matter because he is given the keys to the car. Therefore, it's his job to know how much gas is in the tank.
Right.
If the oil levels are, it's his job to know all that.
Yeah. There's an NCAA penalty called lack of institutional control. And that's to prevent the excuse of, I didn't know. Yeah. Well, you're supposed to know.
Yeah.
You're supposed to know.
Tennessee gets hit with that, that's big trouble.
That's one of the worst. Yeah, that's one of the worst things the NCAA can, one of the worst offenses they can charge you with. Mullen got that.
Yeah, you don't want that for sure. Given also the fact that he is a known micromanager in every office in the office complex, how did he not know it?
Right.
So
the other thing is, I don't believe for a second that Fulmer is retiring of his own free will. I don't buy that. I think the guy won a national title. Thank you. That we appreciate that. So here's what's happening, Phil. Pruitt was your guy. It's an utter mess.
Well,
you got to go. Don't make us put out a statement saying you're fired. Why don't you just retire? I think that's what happened.
It's 2008 part 2.
Yeah.
He didn't get fired technically, but he got fired.
Right.
And his statement yesterday after Diablo Plowman's, I still can't remember her first name, so I just call her Diablo. His statement was, the next guy coaching here needs to be here for 10 years. I know I'm 70 and I know I'm not going to be here when I'm 80. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and just step down. That was his explanation.
Yeah, and that sounds great, but
On the surface,
every coach,
that
every
sounds
school
great.
hires needs to be there for 10 years. That means he's
Right.
doing a pretty good job. So, I mean, that's everyone's plan, but it doesn't always work out. Enrique, thank you for hitting the super chat, sir. He says, I'm friends with a guy on Facebook, and he was committing to Tennessee. I clowned him and asked him why, and it all makes sense now. Hope the house was worth it.
Well,
what were the impermissible benefits? Do you know?
No. All I know is what she said yesterday, and I can't remember verbatim what she said, but I do know she said that there were excessive improprieties, basically, and a lot of them.
Now,
so,
how mad does it make you? How mad does it make you that Amarius Mims would rather play for UGA for free than to get paid to play at Tennessee?
Well, in a normal year, it'd be pretty damn aggravating, but given the current situation, kind of hard to blame him.
Yeah, I don't blame him either.
And I don't blame all these kids for jumping ship either. This is one of those times where is it okay to be a quitter in this situation?
Well, I don't think transfers are quitters.
Right. But some people look at it that way. Oh, you're quitting on your team. Yeah. That's your brother. Those are your brothers. You don't quit on your brothers. Well, guess what? My brother's leaving too.
To me, it's the difference in turning in a 2 weeks notice at your job and versus just walking out in the middle of your shift.
Yeah.
You give a 2 weeks notice. That gives your boss time to hire somebody else, your replacement, whatever, so you're not leaving your coworkers high and dry, shorthanded, having to work extra hours or cover for you. You dip out in the middle of your shift, shoot the bird, and leave. You're screwing over everybody that's there. So a transfer is like giving a notice to me. Hey, season's over. It's not working out for me or you, honestly. So I'm trying my luck elsewhere. I don't have a problem with transfers.
I would say no, Rich. Kirby probably wouldn't let Cade Mays come back.
Yeah, I'm going to say no on that, too.
Kirby might be a dumbass when it comes to selecting quarterbacks, but I got to think he's not that big of a dumbass. Damn.
What about all these players, BVD? What do you think about this? All these players at the beginning of the year that decided not to play. Beginning of the year. Remember? Like, Michael Parsons. There was a lot of them.
A lot of them, yeah. A lot of big names.
And they say, I'm opting out to focus on the combine. And now there is no combine.
Whoops.
There's only colleges can hold pro days like they always, but they always do that. That it's usually after the combine.
Right.
Wonder how. I mean, I guess in the end, it doesn't matter. It might matter for some of the lower end guys, though.
Oh, it'll definitely matter for those guys.
I mean, Micah Parsons is getting drafted no matter what. People have seen what he can do. But some of these guys that decided to opt out weren't exactly household names.
Mm-hmm.
And they were sort of counting, I think, on the combine, showing up and pressing the teams, whatever. And now there is no combine this year. Which leads me to the next bit of disappointing news. I saw somebody a minute ago make a comment. Is anybody planning on going to the Alabama spring game? Sir, no one is going to the Alabama spring game. Or any spring game for that matter.
Including Alabama.
No, they might. I think that with making it through the season, I think the schools will probably have a pretty close to normal spring practice this year.
I don't
think there's going to be fans at any spring games, though.
Yeah, And it won't be a quote unquote spring game anyway. It'll just be a practice concluding scrimmage,
something like that. Yeah.
which most schools have, 3 of those in
Right.
the spring
Yeah.
anyway.
The spring game is really purely for the fans anyway,
Exactly.
because they can do
100%.
everything they do without any fans there. They can hire a referee crew, and they can run it like a real game without there being fans there. So from a team and practice and preparation standpoint, I think it'll be a normal spring. But I don't think there's going to be no spring games with fans. Especially some of these schools now down here, it's different. See, a lot of us don't have our spring games till like mid-April, like Georgia. I think Tennessee too. A lot of these other schools, their spring games are in March. You know, it's not the same everywhere. Like I think the Big Ten starts their spring practices a couple of weeks earlier than the SEC. It's different everywhere, but so I don't think you're gonna have no fans at none of these spring games this year. And to be honest, that's fine with me. But let's get all this, whatever we got to do, cleared up by the time the regular season starts, though. If Clemson tries to weasel out of this game with Georgia because of some kind of Corona BS, I'm going to be fit to be tied and be irate and livid both at the same time.
What are your way too early thoughts on the coronavirus and 2021 college football season?
I think there will be. I think we'll have a normal. I think we'll have a 12-game regular season, and I think there will be more fans at the games than there were this year.
But do you think? I mean, obviously, the coronavirus is not going to be cured, and we're not talking about it anymore. We're still going to have some sort of coronavirus issue, right? Is that what you're thinking? We're still going to be dealing with this.
Yeah.
In some sort of major way. Like the plastic dividers are not coming down anytime soon. The mask mandates at businesses is not going away anytime soon. I just don't know if come next football season we're going to be looking at, kind of like you said. I think there'll be more fans in the stadium.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be full. I hope it will.
Nah, that'd be nice, but well, I don't know if it was you or someone else made a good point about basketball. Might have been a player, but these guys are out there rubbing all over each other, sweating on each other. If they're coughing all over each other. They're just all over each other for 5 minutes at a time until the whistle blows for whatever break. Then they go over to the damn bench and have to put a mask on and sit 6 feet apart. What sense does that make?
What now?
They're all over each other on the court, right?
To my basketball?
Yeah. And then they go to the sidelines for timeouts or whatever, or if it's their turn to sit on the bench for a few minutes. They go over there on the bench. They got to put their mask on and sit 6 feet apart. What's the point in that? I mean, I know the point in it, the social distancing thing. But if you're out there already...
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, some of this shit is ridiculous. But it's protocol. So I guess they have to do it. Like the football players standing on the sidelines wearing masks.
Hunter, you've been trying for an hour and a half, and you're one comment away from succeeding.
Gotcha. I saw Gator Boo in the comments earlier. What's up, Boo?
How many games were canceled due to the flu? 0. Yeah, that's accurate.
That is accurate. Yeah, some players didn't play because of the flu. I don't know. If an 88-year-old man dies because he's got the coronavirus. Did he really die because of the coronavirus, or did he die because he was 88 years old? And your immune system's already, I would think, weakened after 88 years on this planet.
I don't know if your aunt was 88 and died of coronavirus. You sure would have liked her to live to 89, wouldn't you?
Well, sure, yeah.
Sea Dog Morgan is hitting the nail all over the head. Is that what it's called? Hit the nail on the head? Yeah. Yeah. UncleLou was banging that drum this time last year, seems like.
Yeah. Start early with more bye weeks.
Yeah, play every other week. Play 10 games every other week. I don't think we'll have to do that this year. I think I'll play 12 games.
Yeah. Of course, I'm not, at this point, I don't think any of us should rule anything out. Who the hell knows? For all we know, it could end up being worse, God forbid. Not just the football seasons, but this whole thing, period. Would Tennessee hire Luke Fickell? I mean,
I'm sure they would.
Surely they would. I would think, given the current situation, getting somebody like Luke Fickell to come here would be a home run hire. Wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think Luke Fickell is on the top of everyone's list.
Mm-hmm.
But you're asking the wrong question. It's not would Tennessee hire him. It's
right.
Would he take the job? And the answer is no. He's turned down Power 5 jobs. So he turned down Michigan State last year. Megan, thank you for the super chat. Well, the important thing for Cade Mays is that he found his way out of a quote-unquote toxic environment. Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Yep.
And good on him for that.
And like a cat, he landed on his feet, didn't he?
He did. Or in your opinion, his skates. Landed on his skates.
Yeah, his skates.
I wonder if he got a brand new key. He got a brand new pair of roller skates at Tennessee. Wonder if he got a brand new key. Yeah, many people get that reference. Probably 0 to none.
Fickell wants Cincinnati in the college football playoff. Well, if he stays there for 3 more years, he might get his wish.
I'm doing fine, Hunter Q, and I'm not really sure what makes you think I would be pissed today.
You should be in a great mood every Tuesday and Friday and awake and raring to go for this show. Now, that's what should be happening, right? That's what I'm expecting.
I think so. I think that's a fair expectation.
I mean, if your workload gets cut in half, I think the viewers should expect you to be on your A game.
Pretty sure he's talking about. I'm not pissed. I don't sound pissed because of the football situation. That's when I first read the comment. I was thinking, damn, when do I ever sound pissed? But no, I'm not pissed. I'm going to be pissed at 3 o'clock if I come out of the wound clinic with this damn leg wrapped again.
Who are Tennessee's major boosters?
I saw that and I read it exactly like it's typed. Who ate Tennessee's major boosters?
The Haslams.
Yep.
The same Haslams that have spent the last 40 years running the Cleveland Browns into the ground.
I don't know. This might be the younger of the Haslams.
Clay Travis.
He's
Is there a bigger clown than him?
Dude, I haven't watched that guy literally in years. It's been at least, ever since I moved to this house 4 or 5 years ago, never seen the first Clay Travis video, or does he do live streams now? I'm guessing maybe.
He used to do nothing but complain that politics was ruining sports. Now he doesn't even do sports anymore. He just does politics now.
Okay.
And he sprinkles in a little sports from here and there.
Yeah, I couldn't stand that guy when I did. I don't even know why I watched him when I did, because all he did was piss me off. Maybe that's why.
And he's got that. What's that other guy? He's done. He's. I don't want to say partnered up, because Clay Travis, I think, still owns that whole thing. But he's got that other guy that's on there all the time now.
No idea.
A black guy. What's his name? No one. Everyone hated him when he was at ESPN. What's his name? Jason Whitlock.
It was Jason Whitlock.
Jason Whitlock. Yeah.
I'd have to see him to. I mean, if he was on ESPN, I'm sure I've probably seen him before, right?
Yeah, you'd recognize him if you saw him.
Okay. Stephen A. Smith. Pretty sure Stephen A. Smith ain't joining up with Clay Travis.
I like Stephen A. Smith, but I don't listen to anything he says about college. He doesn't know any. College football isn't his thing. He talks about it on that show because he has to.
Basketball's his thing.
Basketball,
right?
boxing. I'll listen to what he has to say on that. And I'll listen to what he has to say on college football too. He's an entertaining guy, but he's college football isn't his, and that's not an insult. It's like, it's like listening to me talk about the NBA. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I mean, I'm gonna sit over here and tell you about the Dream Team in the '96 Bulls. That's about what I'm gonna tell you.
I never did care too much for Stephen A. Smith. But I think over the years, he's become less and less of a, smart ass, maybe. I don't know. It was just, I never did like the way he presented himself. It was like to me, seemed like he knew everything. And by God, I'm going to let you know I know everything.
Yeah. When they first started First Take with him and Skip Bayless, I loved that. I used to record that show so I could watch it when I got home in the evenings or whatever. I loved that show. When they first started doing that, not everyone was doing that. Now everything is an argument now, because people love it. But they figured it out first. Put two people, give them a topic, and force one of them to take one side of the debate and make the other one take the other side of the debate, and just let them argue. And people love now. That's all it is anymore. Everything is an argument now. But man, I used to love that Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless. Robert, I'd watch it every day. New Jack, I'm putting you in timeout for telling a lie. This is a truth zone. Yeah, I have a hot chick moderator. Lou, you should call Clay's show and own him on Tennessee. BVD? No, I think BVD died.
Oh, sorry. No, I accidentally hit mute. Same thing that annoys me about Stephen A. Smith is what annoyed me about Clay Travis. The whole, Clay Travis would actually say it. I'm better than you. I'm better than everybody else. Stephen A. Smith wouldn't say it directly, but that's just kind of the vibe you get from him. Clay Travis would actually tell you, I'm better than you. I'm wealthier than you. I'm blah, blah, blah than you. And I know I'm not the only person, but that kind of shit will make me turn the dial or whatever, X out quicker than anything.
Yeah, he does come across that way.
How mad are you going to be when Tennessee hires Will Muschamp?
He's not.
I believe I said last night if Tennessee hires Will Muschamp, I'm turning in my ball card. But that ain't going to happen. Because I even agree with Lou on this. I don't even think he would take the job if they offered it to him.
He hasn't landed anywhere, has he? I know there was the rumor about him being a quote-unquote analyst at UGA, but I've yet to see anything official on that.
Yeah.
So I guess he's just floating in the breeze right now.
Hey, is Butch Jones still looking for a defensive coordinator? Because I know there's one available now. I know all the Gumps, have been joking the last couple of years. Come back home, Jeremy. Come back home. Yeah. Who is the DC at Alabama right now?
Golding, wasn't it?
No idea. Probably, truth be known, Nick Saban. But
Yeah.
Pete Golding, okay. Wonder if Pete Golding's any relation to Danny Golding. Everybody's going, who the hell is Danny Golding?
What's your picks in the conference championship games this weekend?
I'm rooting for the Bills, and I think they will actually win. And I'm rooting for the Packers, and I don't even know, man, at this point. I think they should win. But damn.
Brady, right?
Yep. The Brady factor.
Have you seen the video going around of Tom Brady and Drew Brees after that game the other day?
Uh-uh.
It must be about an hour or so after the game. It's in the stadium there, but there's no one in the stadium at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Tom Brady and Drew Brees, and they're standing out on the 10-yard line, and each of them have their sons out there with them. And they're throwing touchdown passes to each other's kids out there. And it's just it's about a 45-second video, but it's a cool video.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is cool. I mean, that just shows you the level of respect these guys have for each other.
Because that was Brees' last game, So.
Yeah, I hated that for him, man.
And they're both in their street clothes. So, like the story I got was that Brees went in the locker room, changed all that, but came back out on the field like walked the field one last time thing, and brought his kids out there with him. And somehow Tom Brady found out or got word that he was out there, and so Brady grabbed his kids and went out there. And they're on like the 10-yard line, and the kids are covering each other, like Brady and Brees are doing like the all-time QB thing, and the kids are covering each other and running corner routes in the end zone. And the last part of the video is Tom Brady throwing a touchdown pass to Drew Brees' kid. Anyway, it's a cool video when you think about those two QBs and how long they've been in the league and how many times they played each other, and that being Brees' last game and Brady coming out there like that with their kids. It was a cool video to see.
Any chance, A, that Brees comes back anyway, and B, that was both of their last game in the Superdome, so to speak? Like, any chance Brady will retire after this year? I'm thinking probably no.
I don't think so.
Even if they win the Super Bowl, I think he'll come back.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's ready to hang it up yet.
I don't. So far, I haven't seen any reason he should. I mean,
I like
Peyton
the
Manning's
Chiefs. I like
year,
the Chiefs over the Bills if Patrick Mahomes plays. I haven't heard anything on him.
Oh shit! Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
If he doesn't play, I definitely like the Bills. If Mahomes plays, I like the Chiefs. And then I like the Packers too, but man, people keep saying don't pick against Brady, but I mean, I think the Packers are better, but golly, can Brady really? I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, he can't use the cold weather thing for sure, because Brady and Gronk are certainly used to that. I don't know that matters anyway. And these guys are professionals. So, if there is a guy out there that can send Brady home, I think it's Aaron Rodgers. Is he in your top 5 all-time best QBs?
Aaron Rodgers?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I know that's tough.
yeah, I think there's probably an argument to make on either side of that argument. I mean, Montana, Brady. Who would come after that?
Poor old Marino just keeps getting pushed further and further down the list, don't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's top 10, no doubt.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Peyton Manning. Elway. Yeah, Elway's a good one.
Elway, Montana, Brady, Manning. There's 4 right there.
What about Aikman?
Yeah. What about Favre?
Yeah, Brett Favre.
Yeah.
You're talking about Rodgers' top 5. Is he? Hell, he might not even be the best Packers quarterback in the last 20 years. But boy, the Chargers, you don't see this very often, do you? I mean, not the Chargers, the Packers. Basically going from one Hall of Famer to another at quarterback. With no time in between. I mean, you don't see that very often.
No. Have we ever seen it?
Montana to Steve Young.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah.
But you know,
let's see.
Who was before Brady? Drew Bledsoe? I guess that's no Hall of Famer. Who's there now? Cam Newton? Please stop it. You can't even name who came after Dan Marino.
Right.
Who came after Peyton Manning in Indianapolis? Well, Andrew Luck. Now they had a chance to work out, but the injuries ruined that.
Yeah.
The injuries ruined that.
He's done, right?
I think so. Now that had a chance to be like a Favre Rodgers situation, but the injuries ruined it.
Yeah. What about Carson Palmer to Aaron Murray?
Yes. Yes.
Actually, I don't even think Carson Palmer. Shit. He wasn't even the quarterback before Murray.
Josh Rosen to Kyler Murray.
Definitely an argument buster. Who was after Aikman at Dallas?
Was it Romo or somebody else before that, in between there?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Dobbs to Garantano.
Likely be a long time before we see a QB transfer that talked about at Tennessee.
At least until Harrison Bailey transfers. All right, let's get out of here. BVD, great show today, sir.
Yes, sir. You too as well. Thank you very much.
Tyler Pollock, Wilkie, Enrique, and Beggin' Megan, thank you guys for hitting the super chat this morning and supporting the show. We appreciate that. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so no morning show tomorrow, but I'll be back on tonight at 10 o'clock for the call-in show. And I'm sure we will talk plenty more about the Jerome Pruitt Tennessee situation. Then I'm sure you guys have a lot to say about that. So tune in tonight, 10 o'clock, for Uncle Lou After Dark, the college football call-in show, and we'll see what you guys have to say. Appreciate you
have
watching.
A co-host Thursday, Lou.
Who?
Ballard.
Oh, great.
Do I need to text you his phone number, or do you still have it?
I probably have it. If not, I'll just get him to email it to me.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, guys. We love you all and have a good morning.
Yep. See you Friday.